Anyway, officially, good afternoon. Welcome, traders, to the Options Income Launchpad Weekly Market Wrap. I'm Scott, and will be your host for the next 55 minutes of trading goodness. Wrap this week up, put it to bed, get ready to go. Have a nice weekend. As always, keep in mind what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing is intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. Any decision made should be at your own risk. We're not brokers. We're not advisors, yada, yada. What's the agenda? Today's analysis. Let's take a look at what we think our posture is going to do. Let's talk about mindset for trades that we may or may not carry over the weekend, what to look for next week, what the opportunity list looks like. And we are close to wrapping up our final, our second to last. We have one more week. We're wrapping up Section 7 analytics and getting ready for improvement strategies, which is essentially trading goals. That'll be next week. And then we'll have one last trading plan loop in 2025. To get ready for 2026. It should be very good, exciting stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Let me pull up the SPY. Whew, man, we had Vladimir for a second. We even lost him. Everybody's starting the weekend early. Okay, let's talk about it. Last week we dropped. Let's go to the 3-year first. 3-year stayed the same. You can see it's just sort of in this kind of consolidation. This looks fine. My score looks fine. I'm not going to change the number. I can't see what would have me do that other than if it gets up to this red line and breaks through, then I might make it bigger. But it could pull back all the way. Maybe even all the way to here. Maybe only to like in here, but we'll see. I think it looks fine from the long-term perspective. We were sitting at a 1.25. We've been there a long time. We're going to stay there now. 6-month daily. Here, we dropped it on this. Right? We dropped it on that last Friday. We're like, ooh, that's enough. Now, if you take a look at the line that I have, you'll notice that we're kind of like right underneath it still. We didn't get back up to the old highs. We got up a little, and then it just is sort of sitting there. Nothing for me here. I'm going to leave it. It could still go back in, and then we'll be like, oh, look, we're back where we were. It could bounce down, and if it breaks below this low, then I'm going to say, all right, you know what? That's another loss of a quarter of a point, maybe even a half. I might lose a quarter for a lower high, and then lose another quarter for breaking the low. We'll see. But for now, this looks fine. This is going to stay the same for me. My market posture on this is stable. Okay. Let's move into 1 month daily. We are moving this over here. We did get a box this week. That box was down 1%, which means we get another S for sellers. At this point, we're only going to have, it's tough. If we cancel those three, we have sell, tie, sell, tie, sell. Even if we were to be like, you know what, we're going to not count any of the last week. We're going to throw it all out. Okay, let's throw it all out. 2 ties, a buy, and a seller out. Then what do we have? We have 2 sells, 0 ties, or 0 buys, and 3. 203. We have 0 buying days. That is definitely a minus 0.25. So, yeah, minus 0.25. Now you'll notice if we started here and we end here, we actually have a very slight uptrend in our line. That's okay. I'm not going to be like, oh, you know what? Because it's slightly up, I'm going to make it a 0. No, I think we need to be very aware of the fact that these big days that are starting to come in are really starting to weigh down and be sell days. So I would expect that this is going to go negative, minus 0.25. Major market seems to have held up. I wouldn't be surprised if this stays a 1. Sector rotation, technology still doing fine. I would expect this to stay. VIX. The VIX could be problematic. We already talked about this. What happened? Last time we scored and it did this. I don't know. We broke out. We touched a higher high. I feel like I'm going to take another quarter point away for this breakout right here. Even though we tested up here and came back to it, I'm worried that we're now sitting on it as resistance and it does something like this and then starts to go and continues to escalate. The fact that we touched 28.99, right? One of the things is we're like, oh, we haven't been above 21. We haven't been above 21. Boom, 28, 29. That's hard to maintain bullishness during that. I mean, it did pull all the way back down to here. But because of this, I'm going to take away another quarter of a point, I would expect. So I'm thinking we lose a quarter in volume. We lose a quarter in the VIX. I'm going to put my prediction at a 3.75. I think we're going to drop 3.75. Let's copy. Let's get this ready. This is going to be for 10.19. And we don't need this. Okay, 3.75. I think we're going to drop a half a point. John says, good point about the VIX being that high. It scared me. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I was looking at a couple of trades today. And the fact that we went as high as we did, even on this comeback, the fact that it now is holding, I don't know. I kind of feel like this is what's happened, is we like held, broke, made this new high up here, pulled back. But if we can't drop and then it turns like this, that's another higher low right there. I would say we did this, right? Yeah, I'm concerned by that, which is funny because, like I said, let's start in our watch list. Apple looks pretty bullish here. Glenn sent it to me. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yeah, this actually has a kind of what we've been looking for. It looks just like it did back here. And it actually made this move. Let me give myself some extra space now. I mean, that puts us up near 274. It's about 22 points to the upside. 8 to the down. Almost a 3-to-1. And it gets you right before earnings on the 30th. Right before earnings on the 30th. So that's viable. But you're trading in a somewhat elevated VIX, it's tougher. It's tougher. Tell me what else you were looking at today. Archer Daniels is a no for me. Here's the other thing about Apple. Apple, the volatility's not at its highest point back here, but it's pretty escalated right now. Actually, I would maybe, it's at 33. I would still probably buy the option on this one. I'm curious. Glenn sent me. Let me see. Target, his is 269. Yeah, I'm even more bullish than that. I think it could get on up to 274. Stop range, he said 247. That's tight. That's underneath today. Down to like this area maybe. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I just don't think. Here's the deal. Like, unless you're here, I don't think anyone's going to see this. He's got 3-1, 8 to 12 days. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to fire that as an official alert. But if you have room for a trade, Apple is definitely one that I was like, any better VIX than we had, and I probably would have been pulling the trigger on it. But the VIX had me just a tiny bit spooked overall. ANET still setting up. APH rolling over. AVGO, no. AXP had a big old move today after their earnings. They exceeded expectations. BAC. It looks okay, but in that regard, I actually look at Citi and I think, oh, Citi looks like it did this little break back. If this holds through here and turns, that's a nice little hiccup trade. I would love to take that. I would love to take that. And then I will take, I'll take this over here. And I'll say, oh, maybe that's the trade we're looking for. What can we do with it? Actually, Craig, there should have been at least one or two that are hedges. So I will put out a hedge on the SPY. But I tend to be more individual stocks for bullish moves. Nothing. Here's the deal. I have nothing against it. Nothing against it at all. And in fact, if I were to do calendar spreads, which we got close to doing but didn't end up pulling the trigger on, I would do calendar spreads using SPY. If we do a butterfly, I'll do that using SPY. So that's a good observation. And the answer is there's no specific reason. I love the SPY. Its liquidity is off the charts high, right? Like that's the best liquidity in the market. And so, no, I don't have anything adverse against it. And, you know, now that you flagged it, maybe I'll put one out next week. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. Be like, challenge accepted, sir. But yeah, no. I don't think it is too slow because if it's slower on the upside, then you should have a ability to do a tighter stop on the downside, and that'll offset. So anyway, it's interesting that you bring that up. But I was thinking, I don't do a lot of ETFs. I've like thought about an XLU or an XLV to trade utilities or healthcare because I don't tend to watch many healthcare or utility stocks individually. Yeah, look, I need to be more open to it. I like that. I think I should look at that. Same reason you like them for day trades. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, love it. Good call out. Caterpillar looks phenomenal. Needs to pull back for the next trade, and you don't have a lot of time before earnings, so we'll keep an eye on it and see what we think. CCJ setting up already for the next trade. Like it moved, it's coming back. Okay. CLS pulling back, but this one has earnings, so we'll be careful there. Capital One. Big day today, but still underwater earnings on Tuesday, I believe. Coinbase. Oh, Coinbase. Held this. I actually think there's time. If I get something like this on Monday, I think there's time to catch a little piece. So Monday on Coinbase, yeah, let's be ready for that. Cisco. Oh, look at Cisco trying to move. Delta. No. DoorDash. I still think DoorDash is setting up, actually. I'm almost discounting this, and I still think this is viable support. If we get a turn in here, we have time before earnings to catch a little piece. Yeah, DoorDash, I'm looking at you. Diamonds, no. No. DocuSign. Well, it hasn't broken, and this is one of the things that we've actually been watching for is, does it smash that lower level? Because there's a lot of room for downside on the other way on that. So, we'll be careful looking at that. EA. Does anyone know the deadline on this? It's usually not much longer than what we have here. Do I have news somewhere? Huh. Maybe not. Market Watch. Huh. All right, never mind. Never mind. Ford. I mean, it was possible right there, and it's moving a little today. You don't have much time. Could get a couple more days out of it. GE's trying. Come on, GE. Can you do it? Earnings are coming out on Tuesday before market. Gold. Okay, so gold finally, but again, gold's doing that. It's like, oh, that's the end of gold going up. Nope. It looked like it was going to be here, and then it went higher, and then here, and then it went higher, and here, higher, here. Like, it's just doing these little 2-day consolidations, and then it's gone again. Bam, bam. Right? Until I see something like this, then I'm like, oh, maybe we see gold give it back. It's going to have a hard time hanging on to these price levels up here, I believe. Google made its move. It got the turn, it got the signal here, and it's made a little bit of a move. Would you carry this? Yeah, I think that you could. You might take a little off if you haven't, and then carry it through the weekend. Possibly. Goldman is down. Hood is still looking close, actually. Robinhood, for me, that's an early candidate for next week as well. Both of these, that's two in the financials, but they're far enough apart that I would actually trade both of them. Howmet still possibly setting up on a hiccup. IBM, I would actually say better conditions and not earnings in 2 days. That would be a valid entry. Intel, no. Still kind of flat. IWM, you can see holding up. Still looks strong enough. Levi, no. Lumentum on my list. I would say that's, a potential. You're catching this bounce and thinking it's got some ability to move prior to its next earnings. Meta. Chat on CNBC, gold goes to 10,000 by 2029. 10,000. Where are we now? 3 or 4? What's the... I can't even remember. I'm so used to watching stocks. Let's see. GC. 43... Almost 4,400, huh? No. 42. Oh, yeah, that's we almost got there. About 4,200 right now. Interesting. That'd be another big surge for sure. Very interesting. Whoops. I actually want that back. Where was I? Morgan Stanley. I like Morgan Stanley on a pullback. Did I look at Meta? Meta looks pretty flat. Earnings coming up. I think Microsoft looks interesting. Right? Apple, Coinbase, Robinhood, Microsoft is another one that I'm like, ooh, look at this. It looks like it could make a run before earnings. Earnings coming out at the end of the month on the 29th. Micron is a no. Netflix, no. But could be soon, other than earnings. Northrop Grumman still pulling back. Could be soon, except for earnings. NVIDIA. You could make the argument. You could make the argument for NVIDIA. Let's make that argument. The last time was a pretty good move, actually. Let's take this whole thing. And let's say we were to get this again. That would put us at a target of 200 and 250. Let's say 202.50, which is it's about 19 points to the upside. Sorry, I'm like losing my mind here. 19 to the upside. Let's 178's down here. Volatility is high. I would be thinking about a spread. NVIDIA. And we think this is going... Let's see if I did a 190, 195 spread. Let's just see what that would look like. 190, 195, 2 weeks. Risk profile. Let's go to today. What is going on here? Okay. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, stop. Let's say it's around 178. Plus time decay above this level. if I were to go 1 week and change for being wrong, yeah. If I'm wrong, I would, let's say 4 of these, $1.46. I kind of like that, actually. What do you guys think about this? Those of you who are here. This actually has decent prospects here. I might even take it and put it out as an alert. Give me your thoughts. NVIDIA spread trade. Potential. Yeah. I agree. Give me just a second here. Let's see. Let's see what we would do with this. Let me know if you have any questions about this one. It's definitely got some potential to it. NVIDIA, this is bullish. Range on this one was, oh wait, I didn't have my target. What was my target? 204? 202.50. We'll call it 182.50 by 184.50 to get in. Stop range 178 by 176. Target 202.50. Intermediary target would be I'd say 195 would be a pretty good place to catch a little bit of that. Whoops. Earnings are 10. Oh, I thought there was earnings for NVIDIA. October. Oh, no, there's not earned. There's not. Never mind. Then I would say 10 to 12 days. We're looking at just under, I'd say 2.8 to 1. Volatility index. Highish. Too high to buy. Preferred strategy, bull, call, spread. This will be 10. This will be 31. October 25. Sample trade. This is a 190 by 195. Strikes. Approximate cost we'll say is $1.47. Risk per trade. Risk per trade. It's about what, $95? 90. I'll say 90 actually. I think it's probably towards the tail end of that. $90 of risk per trade. Let's save that. Okay, I actually like that one. I'm going to put this in here first, and I'm going to go. We're going to have a little working break here for just a second. I'm going to slap this out there real fast. Got some chat coming in. Potential. Okay, wait, there's new chat. What about just as a swing? I mean, it's really a swing trade. It's just that I'm trying to like trade it up until it's not earnings, but it's actually till expiration. So as long as it's above 195 at expiration, it's all one swing still. To be fair, yeah. If that helps. So give me a second. You guys are gonna have to just kind of bear with me while I get this thing set up. I hope that is okay with you. And I'm gonna slap this out there. You guys got to see it live. Beautiful. And most people are not gonna get into it in time because it is slow. Let's see. I need to get this up here. Let's save this in alerts. This is 10:17 NVIDIA. This will be people's reminder to come on Fridays because you'll miss good stuff if you don't. What did I say? Yeah, I said a swing is fine. This swing trade, this trade is just until October 31st, and that way if it's above it, I could just let it expire worthless. It could be quite nice actually. So I'm going to send this, you guys. Just bear with me, I hope, for a minute. I got to just go post this thing now in various places. Feel free to ask questions, but I am going to go post the alert and do a couple of other things here. New alert for NVIDIA 10/17/25. And it is a lot harder when I'm doing it with you guys with me. But there's only a few of us, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's make it happen. Publish. Okay, I put it on the site. Now let's send the email. Give me a second here, everyone. I appreciate you guys. This is for NVIDIA and 10/17. Let's get rid of you. Sounds like I got the fill. Okay, save and insert, save and close. Okay, let's see how fast I can do this, and then we'll chat. We'll chat through the rest. This will just take me a minute now. Who is sending this? I actually was thinking there might not be an alert today, and I was looking at Apple. I thought Apple looked pretty good, but that this NVIDIA just sort of surprised me. Yeah. Let's send this email now. And send. Okay. And then I need to send just... This is why I tend to do it before we meet, because it is a pain to do it during the meeting. But I didn't think it was going to happen. So I have one more thing I need to do. Give me just a minute here. New trade. I'm going to send the text out. And then we will be done with this tomfoolery. I appreciate everybody's patience. Everyone with the link. Copy link. And let's get this text sent. If you're checking email, you should see email alert coming out. New trade alert for NVIDIA. And then you'll get a text here in just a minute as well. And everyone who's like, oh, I got it too late, I'll be like, well, if you would have been here, you would have built it with us. You would have seen it. You could have considered it, decided. 10, 17, 25. And there's the alert. And let's save and continue. And then let us send now. Boom. Done. Done, you guys. All right. Just got the alert. Okay. And there was time. 15 minutes. You can go slap that trade in there. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns. Those of you who are here. The alert came. We liked it. We went through it. Let's go through the rest of our list. PLTR. No. QQQ. Looks okay. Holding up. Roblox is pulling back. Reddit is pulling back. Rocket Lab pulling back. Gold is up today, but silver is down, actually. Oh, no. Gold is down, too. Sorry, they're both down today. I was like, wait. No, they're both down. SoFi is flat. SPY is finishing... Well, we've got 15 minutes. Average volume is 79.5. We're at 78.3. So if we're at 79.5 for volume. Nope. 79.5 for volume times 1.05. That is 83.5 approximately. Maybe if we get the volume today, maybe we actually don't end up dropping our... So if we get an above average volume today with a 0.5% day or better, a lot can happen in the last 15 minutes. We're literally at 0.59% up. So we're close to where we need to be, and we're close to where we need to be for volume. If it does it, that might actually hold our score up by an extra 0.25 point. But if we don't get at least 5%, if we don't get at least a 0.5%, then nothing's there. Interesting. Tesla actually looks like it could be viable, but it does have earnings next week. Taiwan Semiconductor is pulling back, but looks bullish. Uber trying to stabilize. Back below the 50, though. Upwork is down today. Bullish dollar still looking... The dollar's looking more bullish. Visa. Visa was one that I was thinking about, and then it just fell apart over the last couple of days. Walmart actually looks like it's turning into a setup. We'll see about that. XLB kind of flat. Communication services looks like it's trying. Energy is down. Financials is trying to stabilize. Industrials is trying to stabilize. Technology is trying to still lead. Not much defensive. Well, there's some defensiveness in staples. There's some in utilities. Utilities looks flagging. I could see a bull trade on utilities next week. Healthcare is kind of flat. Trying to take off. And discretionary. Hard to say overall. Hard to say. I think we're going to maintain bullishness. It's going to drop, but if it does drop, not by as much. So it's trying to stabilize. If it stabilizes in the threes, then I think minor consolidation. We're ready to go back again. We would love the government shutdown to end because as of right now, if it weren't for the government shutdown and tariff issues, we'd be fine. Even with the employment and the economy where it is, with the Fed on board. So, anyways. CELH needs to break, but viable. Let's go take a look. We're probably going to end a little early today since nobody's here. We'll give you a little bit of time back to go finagle any trades for the last 10 minutes. Don't forget to work on your... Yeah, I would say it needs to break. It's struggling. It tried and got down, and then it's... That's a tough one. I would say it does need to break. That was one we were looking at earlier. It's volatile. It's got some volatility. Lots of resistance. I agree with that. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, I will give you back 10 minutes. Go clean up your trades. Go make sure everything is set before the weekend. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Those of you who are listening at home, make sure you send me your doctor's note. If you don't have one, you know you're in trouble. It's good to see everybody. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you all so that we can check in, see what this market tells us, be ready for next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Happy trading.